Hello everybody, thanks for joining me again. It's been a couple of years since the last time I put out a regular Psytrance bass tutorial, so I figured with Serum 2 dropping, this would be a good time. So this is the sort of bass that we will be aiming for today. It's just straight from Serum 2. Okay, so first things first, let's get a blank Midi region and let's draw 3 notes. I'm going to go with G. Then the first note, we want to have the lowest possible velocity, and the next two, we want the highest possible velocity. And then we'll shift them along. And then I'm going to shorten the notes a little bit. I'm going to shorten them by like 256. Doesn't actually matter how much you shorten them by. It's just to make sure there's space for your release phase to take place. Okay, so yeah, a little bit of space at the end there. Then I'm going to get a velocity device, set that up the out low to about 60, so we're going to get a little bit of pump going on. And then we're going to need Serum 2. Serum 2 is an awful lot like Serum 1, just with a lot of extra bells and whistles, but at its core it's pretty much the same. So firstly, I'm going to go into the matrix. I'm just going to go up into this little drop down menu up here and select create velo amp assignment so that the velocity actually affects the volume, and then we can just drop down the volume of this patch a couple of dB. Okay, you can use any type of saw that you like. I'm just going to go with the default saw, so we're going to turn it down an octave. I'm going to turn the random phase all the way down and turn the phase position all the way to 0. The reason I've turned it all the way to 0 is because I quite like the effect we get from having a little bit of sort of delay before the actual snap. It gives a nice pluck, I think, and it also helps when we do like dispersion later on. Anyways, because we're doing this though, we will need to just pop into the mixer and just have a little bit of pre-delay on our track. We're in G, so around about 8 milliseconds should do the job. Okay, so let's go back. Now we should just have a regular saw. Perfect. Cool, so now let's just give some release. And I want to pull the curve up a bit, not all the way, but sort of 80, 90 odd %. And then we're going to turn on a filter. And I'm going to go with one of these new filters. So the MG ladder, acid ladder, and the EXP MM, my favorites at the moment. But let's go with the MG ladder. And let's turn the resonance down to 5%. You can use any amount of resonance you like. It's just a taste thing, really. But I'd like a little bit of flavor happening from that. Okay, and then let's set the cutoff to around 100 Hertz. And let's get envelope 2. Put that on the cutoff for about 40% modulation. And then let's bring the sustain all the way down and go with about 300 milliseconds of decay. And then we want to also give this around 30 milliseconds of release as well. Okay, so we should have a basic pluck going on now. Perfect. Now, what I want to do is use the same modulation again on the same parameter. To do that, we're going to go into the matrix, go envelopes, envelope 2, filter 1, frequency, and I'm going to just set it to the same amount, 40%. However, I'm going to curve the modulation down considerably, about -40 or so we get a much more exponential curve happening with this second modulation. Okay, and if I want it to be even tighter, we can curve this first one down as well a little bit. Okay, do that to taste. Okay, and then we can route our first filter into filter 2. Let's turn filter 2 on. Go into the mix tab, and on filter 1, select filter 2, and then make sure filter 2 is going to main. So then we can go into filter 2, and go to S2 filters, diffuser. So diffuser is sort of a phase manipulation filter, somewhat similar to the kilohertz disperser. I'm not sure if it works in the same way, but if it does, then it's a series of all passes in series. So you can set this up however you want, just to your taste really. If you want it to have more of an extreme sort of rubbery dispersed effect, then more stages and more resonance is what you want. And if you want it to be more subtle, then less resonance and less stages. Okay, so first things first, let's turn on the key tracking to make sure we get a consistent waveform, whether we're playing different notes or whatever. And then let's set the cutoff to around 250 hertz or so. And I'm going to go with around 6 stages or something, so I get a little bit of dispersion going on. And then let's push the resonance up to about 30 or so. Okay, so I quite like it like that. If you wanted it to be a bit more extreme, then you might push the resonance a bit further. Maybe something like that. It's really just a matter of taste. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, so I'm going for this more cleaner bassline at the moment. Now that we've done that, we can move on to the effects tab. But before we do that, let's grab a tuner, because typically when we do these tight filter modulations, we get some detuning going on. So I'm expecting to have to tune it up a bit. Okay, I'm happy with that. That seems fine to me. Now let's go into the FX section and add a splitter. So I'm going to go with the low, mid, high splitter. So we get 2 crossovers, and let's just turn them both down as low as they will go and put the note modulator on them. Just for the moment, I'm just going to turn this right hand one all the way up so that it's not actually doing anything whilst we sort this first one out. I find the best way to tweak where this crossover is now going to hit is to add another modulator on it. So go with something that you never use, like a pitch bend. Go into the matrix and find your pitch bend modulation, change it to fixed, and now we can control where our crossover is going to happen using this slider. So really, it's down to your own taste, whether or not you like to have that or where you like to have it. It's not essential. Just to check it's actually doing something I like. Okay, yeah, I like it's giving a little bit of rubberiness to the transient. Now let's do the next crossover. Okay, I quite like the knocky effect I'm getting in the transient from that, so I'm going to say I'm happy. And if you wanted to, you could now add effects to the bands, so the low, the mid, and the high band. You could maybe add some distortion or something, totally up to you, but I'm not going to do that right now. What I'm going to do is get an equalizer. I'm going to change this low node to a bell. I'm going to dip it by as much as maybe 5 dB. And bring the Q down to about 55. And what I want is to dip out a bit of the sort of 300 hertz-ish area we're getting on this space. I want, though, this node to key track. So what I'm going to do is just turn this frequency all the way down. I'm going to get a note modulator, pop it on there, and then I'm going to go to mod source, just pick something like before, like pitch bend, go into the matrix, find the pitch bend, change it to fixed, and now we can place our EQ node, but without messing with the note modulation. In this case, I didn't actually need to change anything, it just happens to be sat in just about where I like it. But now, if we change the note, it's going to move this node along with it, so we keep the same kind of tonal balance within the bass. Okay, so that's the basis of this patch. It's sounding pretty strong straight out of the synth, in my opinion. Okay, so if we want to take this patch a bit further, then what we can do is split our oscillator over 3 oscillators. So to do that, we're going to go to where it says oscillator A. I'm going to go copy with mods. We don't actually have any modulation happening, but it's probably a good habit. And we can paste it in here and in here. So on this far left oscillator, we can go singles, squarify. But then we're also going to get rid of this first harmonic, so remove the fundamental. Okay, then we can go into our middle oscillator. We go to the second bin, right click and go clear HF. We just have the sub. And then on this right hand one, we can go singles, squarify alt. So now we have the odd in even harmonics and the fundamental all on separate oscillators. So we can get a lot of control over the actual waveform. Okay, so now something I really quite like to do is use an LFO, set it to Hertz mode, and then set the rate to about 10 Hertz. So that's, 10 Hertz is 1/16 at 150 BPM. So it is a useful length to know. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have this go onto the level of these even harmonics. I'm just going to have it go down by maybe even 2 dB. We need to make sure as well that our filter 1 is filtering all 3 of these oscillators, so A, B, and C. Now let's see what this sounds like. I do find that this has a nice way of just cleaning up the tail. We can play with this curve as well. I think it gives quite a pleasant effect. Okay, cool. So then, to take it a little bit further again, we could add a little bit of high shelf around 2K, and then we can use our envelope 2 from earlier just to boost it a little bit. This isn't always necessary, but sometimes it can be nice just to give it an extra snap at the end of the chain. Okay, I think I like that. These are the sorts of decisions, though, I definitely come back and listen to again later on, because, you know what it's like making Psytrance basses. So, and then also, a lot of the time, maybe not necessarily with this bass, but a lot of the time, it can be really, really useful to add one more filter at the end. And I tend to just use it with the low 6, and leave the cutoff alone. And then get a separate envelope, put it on here in unipolar, have it go all the way to the top. And this is just to clean up a kind of buzziness that you sometimes get in the highs. It's not always necessary, and probably not necessary for this patch, but we'll try it anyway. Okay, I don't think it's really necessary for this patch, but it's a nice trick to know. Okay, cool. So then I would heavily suggest using note modulator on the level of the fundamental, and then what you can do is we right click on the modulation we've created and go edit custom curve. We can get control over the way this modulation behaves. So we could say down at C we want X amount of sub, and then when it gets to a certain point we don't want the sub to get any louder, something like that. But yeah, totally up to you, and this is quite a tedious thing to do, so I won't show off right now. But yeah, that's useful. And then finally, you can change the phase of this fundamental, which can be quite useful sometimes and gives quite a nice effect, depending on the situation that you're in. Okay, so I think that's it. Hopefully you like the patch, and hopefully there's some useful information in there for you. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing. And if you want to support the channel further, then you can find a link to my Gumroad in the description for this video. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time.